Very excited today. We have Craig Homonnay with me, talking all things hypnotherapy, and as I've just discovered, it's actually a lot more than that. I've just had a session with Craig this morning, which was profound for me, and still processing it.
Takes a while to process.
It does, but it's been such an interesting journey. Just even talking beforehand about what it means, and hypnotherapy is just not what you think it is.
Depending on who you go to. I think there's so many different branches of it. And there's some hypnotherapy which is like a guided meditation. Okay, like if you get on YouTube and you can download things and listen to it with your iPod or whatever. And then you've got the interactive stuff, which is more like what we do.
Right.
Okay, where you're actually talking. Sometimes your eyes are open, sometimes they're closed. We're actually looking at emotional aspects and trying to change emotions, which is really what we're looking at doing.
It's fascinating. I mean, I've done, as you all know, a lot of work, and you just opened my eyes to so many different aspects and how it impacts. I hadn't even thought of, which was incredible for me because I have. And I think people underestimate the power of that emotional connection because we try and think through our problems, and I think that's really
instead
interesting.
of focusing on the feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's normally at the core of everything.
But it's so funny because the feeling is the very thing that we're trying to get away from.
I know, instead of focusing on it and accepting it and having a look at where it comes from. Okay, and a lot of these feelings are like childlike. Okay, and
It is. A lot stems from our childhood too.
yeah, it does, but like in traditional therapy, a lot of the time we're focusing too much on that as well.
Oh, that's been me.
Okay,
Okay.
so we're refiring up that emotion over and over again, going over it so many times
Yes.
that it becomes a normal way of feeling. And then we're wondering why we feel so bad.
So what are the types of people that come to see you? I mean, what are the type of things that they come and say, can you help me, Craig, with this? What is it?
Oh, so many different things. Where do I start?
Yeah.
Generally, nearly everything is anxiety-based.
Okay.
Okay, so nearly every problem that people come in with, it's normally an anxious feeling, or they don't feel good enough, or there's something that is stopping them from doing what they consciously want to do. It's all fear. Okay, now there's other things that you can look at too. There's just doing regressions, in other words, like just for fun, if you can call it fun.
Yes.
Yeah. So some people like to just explore things like past lives. Other people would like to explore spirituality. And then there's people who have had some horrible things that have happened to them. And what they're trying to do is not so much go in and explore it and relive this horrible thing. What they're trying to do is get rid of the actual emotion that's attached to the memory so that the memory is there and they can deal with it, but it's just a memory.
Right, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Without having all these feelings that are still coming up with the memory. So really, there's so many different things we can do.
I love it. Well, after just my experience, that was just amazing because I thought I'd kind of dealt with some things, but I obviously hadn't because of the emotion that came up with it. I was surprised, you know, and what Craig did with me, I mean, obviously it's unique for everybody.
It's completely different. Everybody you see is different.
Yeah, there are aspects of me which, you know, I tend to tumble everything together and my brain never stops, but it was able to kind of, so this is the type of, I won't go into it, but type of personal place where I am in my mind, and it's made it easier to deal with what's happening. So I have a thought that comes up or something happens, and then what usually happens for me is I have a feeling, and then I make a story around it, and then all this drama comes in.
Yeah.
But what happened today, we kind of pulled that apart and thought, okay, here's the story, but actually I don't want to tell that story, and that doesn't feel right there. So I'm able to look at it much more subjectively.
Yep, so we're unscrambling things.
Yes, it did. It felt like that. It was
Okay,
amazing.
and then you get some clarity.
Yep.
And when you've got the clarity, you can make a decision and stick to it. Instead of having all these other thoughts and feelings coming in and overriding it and confusing you.
Yes, it was. I felt a lot clearer. I mean, it's, yes, amazing. And what, have you got any tip or anything for anybody just every day that they can do to help with their life?
It depends on what they need help with.
Apart from seeing you.
Yeah, look, it's really, if you're getting emotions that are coming up
Yeah.
and they're consistently coming up and stopping you from doing things that you want to do, and you can't take care of it yourself, well then, yeah, you're better off just seeing somebody that knows what they're doing to help you with that.
Yeah.
I mean, too many people are doing a lot of self-help, and what they're doing, and they don't even realise it. They think they're doing the right thing for themselves, but they're just, it's not really re-traumatising, but they're just, like I said, retelling their same story over and over again.
Well, you actually really helped me today. Craig was talking about the neural pathways.
Yep.
And when you build that more and more, it just gets bigger and stronger rather than trying to create new pathways to perhaps, joy or whatever that is.
Yeah, that's it. We're trying to use a better resource inside of you to get better results.
I love it.
Okay, so even with tapping is really popular now.
Yes, I've heard about tapping.
Okay, so tapping's really popular, and tapping is a great technique if you use it properly.
Right, okay.
Okay, there is no point just focusing on the negative all the time and rerunning that pattern over and over again.
So when you tap, do you tap the negative first?
What I look at doing, and it's hard to explain without going through it, is I want to find what the mind is symbolising the feeling as. In other words, what are you feeling? How are you feeling it? Where do you feel it in your body?
Right.
Yeah, what is your symbol for that feeling?
Right.
Okay. And then what I want to do is work out how intense it is, which is what tapping's all about, and then bring the feeling down.
Okay.
And the thoughts that are connected to it. But that's okay if that's gone, but then what do you do with it? Okay.
Right, what comes in then.
Okay, so now we've got to put something positive in.
Right.
So we've got to do another round with positive tapping. Now, tapping's not something that I'm really into all the time. Okay, I much prefer just to do straight hypnosis, go in and just fix the problem.
Yeah. No, awesome. Well, there's so many parts of it, which I loved talking to you about that. One part I wanted to, if you could share about how you started into hypnotherapy.
Okay. All by accident.
Yeah.
Mostly by accident. Okay, I just love the comedy part of it. I love the idea of... I saw a stage hypnotist, and I love the idea that he could sort of get somebody and get them to do crazy things. And so as a young guy in my 20s, that's all I really wanted to do. So that's how I sort of got involved in it. And in those days, there was not really any schools you could go to. So it was order books, wait for them to come from overseas, read them, practice it, order more books, read them, practice it.
Wow.
And one day I got sent a book that was not the book I ordered. So instead of it being a book on comedy sort of hypnosis, I got sent a book that was on hypnotherapy.
Ah, that was it.
Yeah, it wasn't to start with, because I looked at it and I didn't really want to read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah.
But the guy that sent it to me, when I rang him up and I said, look, I'll send it back and you send me the one I'm after. And he said, look, don't worry about sending it back. How about you just keep it, on me, read it, because it's going to take a week or two to get the next one over, and you might like it. So I started reading it. And from that point forward, I was hooked.
I can't believe you talked about the fact that it's only been legal in
South Australia.
For 4 years.
Yeah, about 4 years since it was legal for doctors, but not for anyone else.
See, that's amazing.
Even people like Martin St. James, who used to do stage shows all around Australia, came to South Australia, and they were going to sue him and tell him he had to go to jail because he wasn't allowed to practice there.
See, that's extraordinary. For me, that says that there's some power in it, and especially around doctors. Sorry, Dad, who's up? But it's there's something around that there's that power again, wanting to contain that.
That's the funny part about it. I don't know how many times people will come in and they'll go, "Is it real? Okay, is it just a load of garbage that's made up? Is it a scam?" But if that was the case, why would there be laws? Not just in South Australia, but in countries all around the world, America, everywhere, where it is illegal to do. You can't make something illegal that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the doctors were using it, and they were taught it in South Australia. If it doesn't exist, why would they be doing it?
Absolutely.
So it is a very powerful thing in the right hands with the right person who knows what they're doing. It is really powerful.
Yeah.
In the wrong hands, there can be some things that can be done.
Look, I can see just from the session today that, you have to be in the right hands to do it. So please, find someone good, or see Craig when he's going down.
Yeah. Probably the best thing to do is make sure that you're not just going to somebody who's just done a quick course on the weekend or does it as a hobby. I mean, that's great if they want to practice on their friends and it's light stuff.
Yeah.
But if you've got really big stuff, don't let them practice on you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
let them practice on the small stuff.
Yeah,
okay,
and I
that's
could
fine.
feel that today. It was quite deep, and you're very vulnerable, like
Very.
the person. So I was very vulnerable today, but I felt safe and protected through that.
Oh, good.
Fantastic. Well, thank you.
It's okay. Thank you.
Great to chat with you, and Craig will be sharing some tips and advice on the site as well. So we look forward to seeing them all.